Hello guys, I'm finally back with another tutorial for winter. This is going to be a earmuffs or ear warmer or headband, whatever you would like to call it. This is 100% made with crochet hook, but it looks like knit. I hope that you can follow along because this tutorial is not very beginner friendly, but I will try my best. So the first headband that I made, I used GK yarn and then mohair using 5mm hook, but for this tutorial I'm going to be using 5.5mm hook. And then some stitch markers also. I really like how this looks. It's very soft and warm. I also suggest you use some pen and note. Two stitch markers. And then this time I'm going to be using Red Heart Super Saver yarn brushed. It calls for 5.5mm hook. I got this when I lived in America still. To begin, we're going to chain 80 chains after you make a slip knot, like so. We're gonna chain 80. And then plus 1 for the turning chain. And into the second chain from the hook, we're going to make a slip stitch and another slip stitch. We're just going to make one slip stitch into each chain until you get to the end of the row. Make sure that you take a note of how many chains you made. For me, it's 80 chains. It's about 53 centimeters when it's finished. Chain 1 to turn, and into the first stitch we're going to make a slip stitch into the back loop only. And it's very easy to miss the stitches when you're making slip stitches back loop only, so please be careful. We're going to make slip stitches until there are 2 stitches left. We're gonna leave it unworked. I'm almost done with this row. Almost there. At the end of this row, we are going to leave 2 stitches unworked. That's the last stitch. We're gonna chain 1 and turn our work. Then we're going to make a slip stitch into every stitch until There are 2 stitches left. We're gonna leave unworked as well. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work. We're gonna be making this same pattern for until we have our width that we want. I'm almost at the end of my work. I made about, I think, 12 rows or 13 rows in total. I'm going to be showing you the measurement for this. Got my measuring tape. I'm going to measure it, and it's about 6 centimeters in width. And then we're going to stop here because it's going to be doubled, maybe a little bit more than double in the width. I'm also going to count the stitches I have in this row because I'm going to need it later. So I'm going to take a note and write it down. And it looks like I have about 58 stitches. I'm gonna write it down. Now we're going to do something different. Make 2 slip stitches from where you were. And then put the hook into this chain stitch. It looks like a little bump. It's hard to get into it sometimes, but we're gonna make a slip stitch and another slip stitch. Put the hook into the bump. Sometimes you kind of need to wiggle it and then open the loop to make the hook fit in there, but we're going to make slip stitches all the way until the top, until you're at the top of the work. That's my last stitch. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work. We're going to flip our work and we're going to put slip stitches into the back loop only. We're going to do the same thing until up here. So until when you make it to the end of the row, you're going to do the same thing, slip stitch until the top of the work. Once you have that, it looks like this. I made 80 chains in the first row, so I'm going to make 80 slip stitches into the back loop only. Of course, chain 1 to turn. I've made my 80 slip stitches already. I'm counting 12 stitches from the top and then put the stitch marker. I'm actually putting 58 stitches that we wrote down in the very middle of the work. So I figured 12 stitches down and then count 58 stitches, and then if there's 12 stitches left, that's perfect. On the other side, I'm going to put the stitch marker on the 12th stitch from the top. Count 58 from the stitch marker, counting in the stitch marker stitch as well. That's the 58th stitch from the stitch marker, and we're gonna be counting 12 from the top. That's 12. That's perfect. So 58 stitches in the middle in this headband, and then 12 stitches unworked. We're going to make slip stitches onto the second stitch marker. We're going to place a slip stitch into the stitch marker as well, but we're gonna take it off and put it back on. Make slip stitch onto the second marker. Then we won't need the stitch marker anymore, this one, so take it off. Goodbye. Then chain 1 to turn. And we're gonna be making slip stitch until this stitch. And then once you have that, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Making sure that I have 12 stitches unworked, and then we're going to chain 1 and turn. I'm going to be making slip stitches until here to the other side. When you get to the end of the row, I'm gonna do something similar as last part. Gonna put our hook into the bump. Very hard to get in. Then we're gonna make 2 slip stitches to the next stitch, like so. 1 and 2, chain 1 and turn. And we're going to make slip stitches in the back loop only again until here. Then we're going to make 2 slip stitches. And I'll show you how. Put the hook into the loop and then make a slip stitch. 1 slip stitch and then 2 slip stitches. Chain 1 to turn. I'm gonna keep doing this until there are no stitches left to work with. So we're going to be making 2 slip stitches at the end for every row to connect the rows together. And then once you have only 2 slip stitches left, we're gonna make the 2 slip stitches and then make the string tie. I'll show you how. To make the last 2 slip stitches on this side. Making sure that you're going into the bump, and then make the last 2 slip stitches. This is like tongue twister. Now we're going to chain. I like to make it look neat, so I'm going to make these guys together like slip stitch. It's a bit hard to get the hook into the stitch, but I'm going to try. I'm struggling a lot. There we have it. Now I'm going to chain 50. Once you have 50 chains, we're going to make slip stitches into the loops. Once you have the slip stitches into the bow, ties, into the tie, I don't know how to call it, string, we're going to make more slip stitches onto the other side. Until here on the other side. Now I'm making all these last slip stitches. I probably made some mistakes here because I see some stitches that are unworked. I'm just connecting the mistakes, fixing the mistakes. I'm connecting the stitches with the slip stitch. And once I got to the middle of the work, I'm going to chain 50 again. Once you chain up 50, you're gonna make slip stitches into the back loop only into every chain. Until here, and then once you have that, we're going to make slip stitches again into the back loop only. We're going to make slip stitches into every loop, every stitch. Once you get to the other side, we're going to make our final slip stitches. I'm going to make it until here. It looks good. I'm gonna chain one and cut the yarn. There's only a few things left to do, is to weave in the ends. I'm gonna snip it. I'm gonna take my crochet hook and then find the loops. Maybe not the very edge row, but the row next to it, I think. Yeah, not that one, just here. The second row from the very edge. I'm going to put my crochet hook in to the loops, like so. Maybe you can use a smaller hook, but I just use the 5.5mm hook that I use for the project. Once you have a good amount of loops close to the end that you need to weave in, we're going to take the yarn and then pull it through. We're going to do the same thing on the other side.